Alright. Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Diamond in the Rough, where we see one of the most creative Terran players break our brains and make insane comebacks due to his ridiculous understanding of how to counter his opponent's army. We're always there saying, you know, Terran's not that flexible. And he's always like, dude, I can always hard counter my opponent's army and show you how to abuse and mind game them. Not to mention one of the best base traders in the game. You put him with a handful of units in a base trade, and he always seems to know how to win. It is, of course, Storm's Ruff in the top left. Now, his opponent in the bottom right side, representing King SC, this is Ayakos. So he's going to be going a gas pool opening. Now, this is not pool early pool, it's just a pool first. So you would still expect a drone to go down and take a hatchery, but this could turn into a couple of things. Because it's such a big map, you wouldn't expect it to be roach aggression. Then you remember he's playing against Ruff, and a lot of people know Ruff likes this low ground wall off. It's a little vulnerable if you can do a very fast Baneling Bust or a very fast Ravager push. Now, it all depends how Ruff opens, right? Because if Ruff just goes a super fast tank, pretty solid. Super fast Ghost, also not too bad against these things. It really depends exactly what his option is. Now, of course, it's hard to see what you're going up against as the Zerg, because as that Overlord comes in, it's going to be greeted by a Marine, and the barracks can lift off to spot the pillar. So I think best bet for Ayakos is to quickly turn this Overlord around and try to get to that pillar before this Marine kills it. But he's going to have to react very quickly. And that Marine already dealing damage. Ayakos does head back. Yeah, and you can see he's clicked on that pillar. I don't think he's clicked right in the middle. You can see the marker. I think half his body will be sticking out the bottom. So he's going to have to click. Yeah, there we go. You see he's fixed it up. He's clicked it right in the middle now. And he should just barely get out of there. Now, the problem for Ruff is that Marine's in the open and there's 4 Zerglings. He's not expecting pool first. Ooh, the Zerglings want to kill it. They're going to go for it. And that Marine's out in the open. He's lifting his barracks to even hunt for this. Oh, no. Okay, barracks, time to turn around, buddy. He is building a very early tank, so this is his best build against the Ravager push, and 3 roaches are on the way. So yeah, this is a problem you'll run into. And Ayakos comes in, and you're going to feel really bad. Seeing that factory, honestly, I would just start building drones right now. I'd be like, okay, we're going to be annoying with the Zerglings. Yeah, and drones do start up. Ayakos is like, I'm not going to be able to kill you with this. It still is a disruption. Ruff's command center is naturally not that early. We're there! Ruff! Oh my god, a bit slow to start the repair. It's going to die. It's going to die. The depot's gone. Oh no. I mean, a tank outside of siege mode can beat Zerglings, but this means that the Ravagers could cause some issues as well. And he's not building any extra units. He builds a starport. Oh, this might be way too greedy for Ruff. So his SCV is forced off the line. 1 tank is trying to defend. He's trying to do this kind of bare bones defense. Tank, not too bad out of siege mode. See there, it's got 7 range. It shoots pretty far, and it shoots very fast. Does a lot more damage versus armored units, though. 4 Ravagers will morph. He's going to take down these depots. A Cyclone's on the way. That's a more flexible unit for shutting this down. Right now, though, Ruff is in trouble. If he sieges that tank, he dies. He can outrange the Ravagers slightly. I'm surprised they don't run in and try to focus it. They can run in and focus that tank down. That would be huge. Bile's going to take out that top depot. Tank coming forward. Another one builds straight away. Ruff is very worried about just getting overwhelmed. Remember, though, Zerg economy is not amazing, but Ayakos is droning behind this. So even in the middle of doing this, Ayakos is like, I know I'm not all in. I'm just trying to get some damage done. The tank siege is up, and the Ravagers dive on it. Ooh, the tank does go down. A bit of an overkill on the Biles, to be honest. He really would love to kill some more depots, but he's already killed 2, not to mention some of them that were constructing. And the Ravagers are still healthy. Link speed starts up. Ayakos here with a fantastic opening. Gonna send a drone out, take the 3rd hatchery as well. Meanwhile, Fusion Core. Okay, Ruff. Ruff is like, look, you've committed so much to these units. I think you're going to be really late up the tech tree. I think a battlecruiser will be hard for you to deal with. The Cyclone hunts down one of the Ravagers. Does take a bit of a beating, though. So these Ravagers, they could hang around to get these depots, but the SCV repair is good. And they know the longer they hang out, the more chance of that Cyclone to pick them off. Of course, hats off to Ayakos for doing a lot of damage. A big disruption. First battlecruiser? Oh, he's going to go double starport. Oh, Ruff is doubling down. He's going super all in on it even. That's actually kind of wild because his economy is not good enough to support it just yet. So Ruff is like, he's thinking about, I'm going to do a double battlecruiser dive, but it is super all in because his worker count sucks right now. He's really, really low on workers. So Ruff is saying, I feel like a guy who's gone roaches might follow up with Ravager Ling. Might stay low economy. Definitely won't be going quick tech. Little does he realize there's actually a fast lair. And you know what? I actually don't think this is a good call from Ruff. I'm gonna criticize him here, because if you think about Zergs who open up early pool first, try to get you with an early Ravager pressure, these are often the sort of aggressive Zerg players who suck in macro games. Let's be real. Let's be real. They want to kill you with tech switches in the early game and the mid game. So what is one of the best tech switches off Roaches? Mutalisks. And Spire and Mutalisks, not bad versus battlecruisers, but it's also the same tech you need for Corruptors, which shits all over battlecruisers. And that's exactly what's coming down, guys. First battlecruiser's on the way, but Aspire's already started. Cyclone does not get the kill. Great micro by Iacos to keep that queen alive. And yeah, a Spire on the way. I mean, this is really nasty. Now, don't get me wrong. It's a lower economy Spire, and Iacos maybe isn't ready still, because maybe you get a bunch of damage done before, and maybe you're already transitioning onwards from there. But with Yamato coming in, to me, this feels like Ruff is thinking about, oh yeah, I'm going to go with like at least 4 or 6 battlecruisers. Luckily for him, Iacos is going double Evo chamber. If Iacos dumps some money into there, makes some more Roaches and Ravagers, busy droning, there is an opportunity. That being said, a spore in each base. And wait, what? Oh, he's seen 2 starports, so he's building extra spores everywhere. Oh, this is so bad for Ruff. How will Ruff find any damage? And the Spire. Maybe he goes for the Spire. He's got a battlecruiser out, but he's got an overseer that's seen what he's doing. Okay, Iacos did hurt his economy by building so many spore krillers. I'd say that's probably a few too many spores. There's also none in the most important spaces between your bases. So because he's got 3 spores each base is safe. But if the queens get caught in the middle, it could still be bad. He's going to scan, and he teleports right onto the back. He wants to get the Spire. As I said, the Spire is not protected. He's going to need to move spores over there right now as Iacos if he wants to keep this alive. He does not have a lot of transfuse energy. And you know what? 2 BCs beats 5 queens, mate. So you got to be careful there. Spire's going to go down. He's got 7 Corruptors already on the way, though. Ooh, a few more transfuses do go down. That battlecruiser looks like it's going to fall. If not to the queens, then to the Corruptors. And he's going to lose both. You know what? Losing the queens is kind of rough for Iacos. I think he might be tunnel visioning on it. On the other hand, he's killing 2 battlecruisers. That's 1,400 resources worth of Terran. I think this is pretty sick trade for the Zerg, man. And see more battlecruisers coming out. Oh, Hellions do drive in. He's only killed 2 drones this whole game, though, so that's still not amazing. 3rd command center, though, is on the way. Both sides building workers. Iacos desperately trying to recover the drones and the queens that died there. He's going to rebuild the Spire and an infestation pit. Iacos still being quite greedy, but you got 7 Corruptors out. The next 2 BCs aren't really a cause for concern. And Ruff is still building battlecruisers. Now, I think because Ruff feels like, look, I've already committed a lot and I killed the Spire. I can keep committing. We've got Yamato ready. I haven't had a chance to use it yet. And he probably expects a ground swap, so layers of tech switches being prepared for on both sides. Ruff's going to take the 3rd, immediately take the gas as he loves to. Not a big fan of the minerals. He's much more of a gas boy. He has 3 Hellions, 1 Widowmine, and 2 battlecruisers. And that's all he has on the map right now. Spire not quite finished yet for Iacos. Looks like he's going to have to commit to more of that. And Iacos' economy is not that robust. If Iacos was up at 80 workers, I'd be like, look, Ruff's just dead. There's nothing he can do from here because he's just going to get swamped. But he's keeping the economy close enough as long as he doesn't throw away any of these important battlecruisers. If he can keep those alive, get some turrets up. He's building the engineering bay to unlock the missile turret now. He's adding Widow Mines and drilling claws as well. So he's thinking about having Widow Mines to blow up the Corruptors when they dive. And he does scan. Double Yamato goes down. That's 2 Corruptors. And oh, he's gonna kill an upgrade. Oh, Iacos. I don't know why he backed off there. He could have been getting hits that whole time. Iacos running away from Yamato. That is not how you meant to do it. You meant to just fight this. Iacos keeps running away. What is this? What is this micro? Is Ruff that intimidating? I know he's a very manly guy, but why do we keep running away? Like, for those who don't know, you can dodge Yamato if you blink just as it's on the way to you, once it's in midair. Or by like recalling home, I think works as well. Those are about the only ways. It doesn't matter if you go out of vision or anything like that. It's not going to matter. It will chase you and kill you. So a bit of an issue there. And now missile turrets are going down everywhere. And he's going to keep massing BC. So we're going to go mass battlecruisers. Oh, very cool. Neo Steel armor is upgrading as well. Going to make his buildings a lot tankier. And I think Iacos needs to hold down the drone key. I think it's to that point where as Iacos, you've got 14 Corruptors, make it 16. Great Aspire to try and finish your opponent. Not a bad idea. But I think it's the situation where you say, look, my opponent's invested so much in fancy tech. I know what sort of player I'm playing. Turrets, sensor towers, planetaries, battlecruisers. Let's take 6 bases and laugh at him. Let's laugh at him. Let's overwhelm him. Which, let's be real, people have done that and they still die to Ruff, even if they get a lot more units than him. But Ruff is not quite at 60 workers. He's got 3 factories. He's making basically just mass battlecruiser Widowmine right now. And we know how deadly that combo can be. But if there's enough Banelings to roll into the Widowmines, big problem. If there's enough Corruptors to take out the battlecruisers, that can also be a big problem. He scans here. And his Hellion's going to try and drive in, but Roach Ravager Queen is in position. Now, I think we're already sensing a bit of a syndrome for Iacos, guys. Despite being a very high-ranked Grandmaster player, Iacos right now has 2 control groups. One has the hatcheries, one has the spawning pool, which means this whole army is controlled as a blob. Now, why is that dangerous? Because there's splash damage from the opponent. So a player who does not use control groups is going to struggle to dodge that splash damage. And Iacos is trying to wall off the future Hellion path here. Lots of fancy maneuvers, but oh, no, 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 no. Okay. Does Iacos know about the Widowmines? Why is Iacos running away? Iacos does not know about those Widowmines, yet is running away. Yeah, it makes 4 overseers. Maybe he did see them burrow. Oh, okay. He did glimpse them with the creep tumor. But what are you going to do? Corrosive Bile can kind of take him out. And he hasn't really stopped Tiamato just yet, Ruff. Which I'm a little surprised by. Looks like the Roach is going to try and go for a counterattack, potentially. Oh, he's going to try and just run the Roaches in and take the Widowmines. Okay. Still more where that came from, though. Oh, one great shot on the Corruptors. But the Corruptors get a Battlecruiser. And he should be able to clear all those Widowmines up. So a decent hold for Iacos, who's going mass Roach Corruptor. Now, this is the problem where I'd say Roaches are a bit too weak of a performing unit against the Widowmine. But you know what? Ruff already swaps out of it, so maybe he's not going to keep it up. The problem with Roaches is that they clump up so much and their damage is so low. Ravages technically can outrange the Widowmine, but it's harder to do in practice than it is in theory. And Iacos has that 4th up saturated, nothing on the 5th base. +2 melee, +2 ranged. And we've got 1/1 flyer upgrades. Ruff is on +2 air attack, and he's going to swap into full ground upgrades. And he's swapping into Hellion Thor. He's going to swap into Mass Thor and Hellion now. And he's going to keep his battlecruisers more as a fuck squad, as I like to call it. So, basically what they're going to do is they're going to run in, Yamato some shit, and then teleport home. And they're going to do that over and over. And unless they get caught by Neural Parasite or something like that, they're just going to keep on chipping away. And if you can kill like a Corruptor or something like that with each Yamato, that's fantastic. The battlecruisers are just out of vision, by the way, so Zerg player doesn't see this just yet. His Overlord will spot it on the bottom of the map. The Corruptors are nearby. So you just want to kill 5 Corruptors, teleport home. Because there's so many Corruptors out, I think Ruff might actually lose battlecruisers every time he fights. Oh, Ruff, you gotta watch out, bro. You're about to get jumped on. Now, remember, Iacos has been really cautious. So I think it's time to just dive, dive, dive. Oh, and Ruff, very wise there. Realizes he doesn't even have time to Yamato. He's just got to leave. Transformation servos, Blue Flame are both on the way. 7 Broodlords on the way. And we've got, okay, so Thors kick the shit out of Broodlords. So Iacos is like, cool, I'll get Broodlords to deal with the Widowmines. This will be awesome. Broodlords suck versus Thors. Thors are amazing versus them. Unless you've got really good Blinding Clouds, Neural Parasites to take control of the Thors, that sort of stuff, you're going to have a bit of a struggle. The air upgrades are fantastic, at least. And Ruff here, where's he scanning? Just out front.
Complete.
Ah, oh, this is so dangerous. He doesn't have teleport ready for another 30 seconds. Oh, this is actually a really silly move from Ruff, guys. I think he thinks it's ready, but it's not. This is way too far out. He wants to start harassing the Zerg, but this is so dangerous, guys. He's got 18 seconds left. I think those Corruptors can get there and kill at least a few BCs. Depends how quickly Iacos reacts. Oh my god. This is such a high-risk maneuver from Ruff. He should have waited. This is so dangerous. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Tack jump. You need to leave, son. You need to leave. What? And he's just going in even deeper. This makes no sense. Why is he going for the Spire? He's sacrificing all of his... Wait, this is some next level mind game, right? So he says, okay, I'm going to sacrifice the BCs. We're just going to kill the Spire, kill some of the tech. And that tech can be rebuilt with ease. He does kill the Roach Horn. Doesn't even Yamato anything. And Ruff just wants to win with Mass Thor. Now, let's be real. A lot of people out there struggle against Mass Thor. There's 7 in this army. He's got 7 siege tanks as well. Oh, now he actually... The title of this game was something about tank micro. And the problem he's going to run into here is Broodlords are going to shoot Broodlings into melee range, and your tanks are going to friendly fire your units. So is there some way he can avoid that? I don't know. He wants the Thors fighting the Broodlords and the tanks, the Hellbats to clear the Broodlings and the tanks to fight just the ground units. He's going to try and siege up here, but he's got to be careful. The Bile's landing on his units. The tanks quickly unsiege. He does... Oh, so he's trying to siege to scare off the ground army. But then if it's just the Broodlords fighting, he'll quickly unsiege. Oh, he's got to focus fire the ground units. And he quickly unsieges there. Ruff making sure he doesn't friendly fire, but he's almost out of Hellions, guys. You need to rally Hellions. Without Hellions, the Broodlings are not going to have anything capable of burning them. The Thors are still a very real threat, though. 7 Thors beats the shit out of 7 Broodlords. The tanks are going to siege up. Notice he's shift-clicking them on the Roach Ravager to make sure they do not fight against his own Thors. Yet, nonetheless, the Zergling Reinforced comes in. He kills a lot of the Broodlords, but every single Thor goes down. Overall, that was a really good fight for Iacos. And as I said, you need Hellions rallying in. Because if you don't have Hellions, Zerglings can get you. And also, the Broodlings are way more effective. Hellions are also really fast to reinforce. And remember, Ruff has only now taken a 4th. He's trying to float out more bases, but classic Ruff is that he's not really this guy who's going to drown you. He was looking for the win with that army. He didn't find it. Now he's stuck on Mass Thor Hellbat. And you know what? I think that's okay. I think if he just has so many Thors and Hellbats, he should be able to do it. The Zerg here is going to probably need Banelings. If you have some Banelings just to clear the Hellbats out of the army, it gets rid of a lot of the tankiness, and then it allows your Roaches and Ravagers to work. But at the same time, Iacos needs to actually attack. Because if Iacos sits back... Sorry, guys. Punching my microphone. Apologies. Hopefully I didn't knock anything loose. So if Iacos doesn't trade, he's maxed, and he's on shit units. Ruff's catching up. If Ruff manages to max out, he's obviously going to have a better army. He's got 3-2 on the way. There's some good Zerg upgrades, but there's no Adrenal for the Zerglings. It's mostly Roaches, which are just not a good unit for their supply in the late game. So he runs a Zergling, and he sees there's some army up there. Oh, this is a kind of wild area to attack. Is there... I don't know, man. There's a lot of Roaches here, but it doesn't feel like that many. Where's the rest of his army? Oh, it's all the Corruptors, isn't it? Dude, and there's no air units. Oh, these Corruptors are near worthless right now. I mean, he could go pissing on buildings, but there's missile turrets everywhere. Ling Backstab runs in expecting to find an orbital, but that's a planetary. You're not going to find anything there, mate. Oh, that sort of harassment does not work versus a planetary. The planetary just blasts those Zerglings apart. Oh, no. Oh, what do we got? Thors, tanks moving on forwards. All right, so he's going to make a lot more Broodlords to join in with this. But Broodlords, as we said, they're not great versus Thors. So, I don't know if... I mean, he wants to use the Corruptors to help, but is this going to really be the army that does it? I love the Corrosive Biles. They've been used so well on the Hellbats. Ruff right now. He's on 9 Thors, 8 Hellbats. He's got 7 siege tanks out to try and siege up and get rid of the Roaches so that his Thors can fight against the Hellbats. Oh, how do you take this fight as either side? I really don't know. I feel like if I was either player's choose, I would throw the game right now. Super hard. So Ruff's going to try and siege his tanks and focus fire those Roaches again. Here we go. Roaches far ahead of the Broodlords. The Thor's doing good. Oh, big tank volley. Couple of Biles land, but not that many. Iacos builds another 16 Roaches. Broodlords going forward. They're going to try and fight, but the Thors are on top of him. The tanks, once again, get focus fired. Notice the tank big splash damage is going down all on the Roach Ravager. He's not shooting his own units. Now that most of the Roach Ravager's gone, he unsieges the tanks and he says, let's just push on forward. But there is another 33 Roaches in production, so Ruff wisely pulls back. He's got another base up in the bottom left. He's got another army of Thors, and he's rebuilding his battle cruisers. Now that his opponent's thrown away most of their Corruptors as Broodlords, and there's not many left, he's realizing, like, wait a second, I can swap back into battle cruisers right now, and you're probably going to actually be caught completely off guard. So Ruff here using his Thor tank Hellbat, his classic mech comp, to force the Zerg into mass roach, going back into mass BC. Is there even enough roaches here to hang on? Oh, big biles. He's going to get some biles taking out a Thor in the back, but the tanks are doing so much damage. Thors are such a tanky unit with 400 hit points. The Roach Ravager getting shredded. And the high-impact payload Thor is going to kill a bunch of those Corruptors on the exit as well. This base will go down. Remember, Iacos never had that giant economy, that giant bank. Has been building spines and spores at all the bases, but never had an economy that was much over 60 or 70 workers. And as a result, Iacos has exhausted the bank. Mr. Ruff does take the bottom left base as well. Corruptor's going to fly up through the north. That Widowmine's been waiting there all game for this moment. Ow! 2 Corruptors go down. And, wow. Yeah, 6 Thors around. Does he have +3 armor yet? Only +2 armor, but still. I mean, what are you going to do here as Iacos? Basically, you're looking to win with Corrosive Bile. Every fight, you want to drop Corrosive Bile, run away. Drop Corrosive Bile, run away. And he's going to add Vipers. Oh, Iacos is going to use Spellcasters. Now, let's be real, guys. People who don't use control groups can't use Spellcasters. It's just a thing. If you don't use control groups on your army in an RTS game, your Spellcaster usage probably going to be really shit. I mean, maybe Iacos drops the spells pretty well, but the Vipers are 100% going to be single use. They're going to run in and die after using their spells because you're controlling everything as one pack. So that's just naturally the way it's going to happen. So we'll see what happens here. Iacos Vipers coming out and seeing if they can suck energy off some of these structures. Base in the bottom left going up for Ruff. He's got so many bases, man. He's going to start Battlecruiser harassing. He's still building lots of tank Thor. He just wants to fuck up his opponent's composition and say, hey, you need to build more Corruptors, while also doing harassment damage to the already weaker economy of the Zerg player. Iacos swapping from a I'm going to drown you with roaches style to a I'm going to try and use Spellcasters for super efficiency. Fortunately, the drones are exposed. Battlecruiser is going to kill a whole bunch of these units here. And right now, there's only 2 Corruptors. Oh, no. Oh, no. Iacos doesn't have things that shoot up. There's 2 spores at this base, but 3 BCs with 3-2 upgrades, or sorry, 2-2 upgrades. They will absolutely destroy the spore crawlers. Look at that. 1 Yamato plus a few battlecruiser shots. The spores disappear. The Corruptors will go down in just moments. 5 more Corruptors are on the way. Oh, man. And those drones going to go down as well. Refugee Hunters, once again, our favorite show. And when Ruff's playing against the Zerg, he loves to play it. Vipers are going to try and parasitic bomb down the BCs, which teleport home. Little did he realize there was actually no counter to them. 5 Corruptors came out, 2 more. There's going to be 7. I guess maybe they've got 2-2 upgrades. Yeah, might be able to take out the battlecruisers with the help of Queens and Spores, but it's a disaster for the Zerg player who's sitting on 34 drones, is still building static defense and gases at this point, but never rebuilt their work account. Empty base, empty base. 13 workers there. 3-3 on the way for Ruff as he prepares for his final push. So I love the way this is going to work. It's 14 tanks, 10 Thors, 3 battlecruisers. Now, this army is very weak to Zerglings, you could argue, but you've got to remember, to counter that much supply with Zerglings, you need like 200 Zerglings. If you make 100 supply of Zerglings, you're investing in an army which is so destroyed by just a few Widow Mines, a few Hellbats, a planetary fortress can destroy them as well if you attack near it. There's a lot of things that basically make that a worthless investment, or a very dangerous investment, I guess I should say. So it's super duper risky to actually do that. Battlecruiser's going to move down the south side. Let's see what they can do. Got 4 more command centers on the way. Very nice. All right, Battlecruiser's going to pick up the spine crawler there. Couple drones go down. Okay, scans. Bigger armies coming forth. Battlecruisers are just going to pick off a bunch of stuff. Where's the Yamatos? He's going to teleport in again. Oh, he found the spires. Okay, so he's going to Yamato down the spires. Okay. Just shift click them for now as his army pushes through the middle of the map. Just going to trade on those spires one more time. It seems like such an odd choice when you're already into ground units as well. Oh, Yamato's some of the Vipers. Oh, very nice. 3 Vipers going to go down. And he's even shift clicking them. Oh, he's even target firing them with the BCs. And now they run away from the BCs into the Thors. You're kidding me. Every single Viper died before the fight even started. This is a nightmare for Iacos, man. I feel so bad for this poor Zerg. It's so funny because they look so toe-to-toe with Ruff for the first like 10-15 minutes. And then you just see that Ruff is such a better player in the late game with like understanding how to use all these units. He's just got beautiful, beautiful execution there. He keeps on sieging his tanks, I think unnecessarily, like completely unnecessarily at this point. He could have left those sieged for sure. But they're actually not bad out of tank mode, out of siege mode versus roaches as well, as we see. So the tanks there. Oh, this is impossible to break. And Iacos will tap. GG. Ruff there with a lovely victory. Battle cruisers back and forth into the roaches, into the ravages, and he hunted down, was it 4? 2 greater spires, 3 regular spires in that game. Beautiful, beautiful play. An amazing hunt down of the Vipers at the end. And overall, a solid 50% more units, unit effectiveness as well in that unit slot stab. GG, well played. Hope you guys enjoyed this lovely display of some very alternative style of Terran. Catch you guys in the next episode of Diamond in the Rough. Goodbye and good night.